my proofing yeast that's already done for my oatmeal English muffins. And now we're going to start making English muffins. 2 teaspoons salt. You need 2 teaspoons of salt. As you can see, it has risen quite well. I fed it last night, like I told you, a fourth of a cup of water with the flour mixture. Well, I told you all that yesterday. I just got up, so if I have some problems, understand I just got up. This is how my day starts in the kitchen, except on Friday. One day it doesn't. All right. We'll add the butter after because it's hot right now. All right. Now they say milk, 1 cup of milk, but I'm going to add 1 cup of buttermilk with this, with the oats. I just think it'll give it a nice flavor. And so we'll see how it comes out. Okay, now tell me it goes. We'll go this way. Yes, I had to buy buttermilk. I killed my buttermilk. I forgot to feed it, and it got too old. So I'll just start a new batch. Not worried about it. So this will give a slight sour taste. Unusual, yes. Why not? All the things we eat today are so blasé, you know? People say that's not so. Yeah, well, they don't use a lot of seasonings. Everything is white, water, or wine or something, and that's it. So we've added the salt. I'm using kelp, a mixture I make. Good morning, Richie. And we need 3 tablespoons of melted butter. That's what I'm getting ready for, to add it in here. But I have to be careful because it's hot, and I don't want to kill my culture. Sort of like making custard, you have to be careful. Oh, today we're making pork hamburgers. We'll get these done after I finish these English muffins. But these are oat sourdough English muffins. I ground the oat a whole cup and then added 5½ cups of all-purpose. So I don't know how the oat's going to rise. It seems to be doing a good job. Okay, do I have everything in this now? Got the butter, the salt, and the milk. Okay, we're good now. Now we're just going to start adding all our flour mixture to it. Hi, Sunny. Today we're having hamburgers, a pork hamburger with a coleslaw on it and lettuce, and we're going to spice it up. But right now I'm making English muffins. Oh, they have a nice smell. I didn't know it was going to turn out. This is the flour, working flour that I told you about yesterday. If you're wondering which flour. I gave you a plain English muffin recipe for people who don't have a sourdough. I don't know how this would go, but if you wish to try it, adding some oat flour into it and see how it comes out, you can. God, it's not even 5 o'clock yet. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to get onto those hamburgers. But this has to be done because it's risen and it was, bread calls, you answer, as they say. So now you know when you're at a wealthy home, okay, Nat. Oh, thank you, Nat, for the loot box. Hi, Fed. It's 4:54 right now where I'm at. I got up at 3:45 this morning because I had some things I had to do this morning. So I just got up and said, get up out of bed. You've got work to do. Okay, you need a little more flour. And how can I tell? It's because I've handled flours, breads, dough so much. Okay, Ronald. No, I was tired yesterday. I went to bed early yesterday. I was really, really tired. I just fell asleep in the chair and I said, that's it. I don't know if I'm under mental stress with my sons or I am just getting old or what, but I think it's more just the mental stress of working with them. But it could be the heat too, so the weather's hot. Takes a lot out of me. My sons want air conditioning, and I said, I can't afford it. You know, so you deal with it, or just whine to yourself about it. sprinkle them with cornmeal. Everybody says do it with white cornmeal because that's how you buy it in the store. As far as I'm concerned, cornmeal is cornmeal. Okay? That's how I accept it. I am not going to do something just because, oh, it looks dry. I'm going to do what I have, use what I have and make it work. You can't do it with everything, but with cornmeal you pretty much can. Hi, Ronald. Zayden. Oh, thank you, Zayden. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Grease some pans. I should say some baking sheets, cookie sheets, whatever you have. Now, of all the English muffins, and I have lived a long time, so when I say sourdough English muffins, especially this recipe, the basic recipe that I gave you, I think God last year, is the best. And I've had a lot of different ones. They outdo Thomas's. Thomas's has nothing on these. But this is my favorite one. I mix it up, make herbs. You wouldn't believe I go in many directions with this one recipe. Like today, instead of using milk, I decided I'm going to use buttermilk, and I took a whole cup of oats. No, half a cup of oats, and I ground them up because I have that mill, Nutri-Mill, and I proceeded to make a new muffin. But they never go bad. They don't stay in the house long enough for them to go bad. You could use them also as sandwiches if you wish. That's another nice way of having English muffins. I don't know if I need another cookie sheet. So, if I need more, I'll get more. I know I have yellow, white corn in here somewhere, but I don't know. You're actually making a bed of cornmeal so they don't burn and stick to the baking sheet or the cookie sheet, whichever one you're using. Rolling pin. I'm going to make 3 1/4 inch English muffins. Let's get some flour here so I can roll this out. Oh, my weekend was nice and busy. Oh, I use my discard too. Don't think I don't. And I think they want this about a 1/2 inch thick, if I remember correctly. I use it so much you think I would remember it. Yeah, about a 1/2 inch thick. I always put some flour on the side so I can sit there and make sure it doesn't stick. And as fast as you roll it out, it's going to start rising. If you're making these sourdough, I mean, they don't waste time taking off. Cut them as close as you can so you don't handle the dough any more than you have to. And some kneader. Now I'm going to need another greased cookie sheet. Okay, here we go. Brian, ain't no brains. What are you talking? Hi, J Joe. Them. No, I might just need two. Six, 13. It makes about 13, 14. I'm going to make a little tiny one. All right. You do not cover these because these are sourdough. Just let them rise. Put them to the side and let them do what they have to do. And we'll clean this mess up and get those hamburgers started. For those of you that don't have a scraper to get the dough off, take the excess flour off like you saw me. Let your cloth be soaking wet. You just set over it, it'll soften it up and it'll come right up. Tricks we learned in the kitchen to make our lives easier. Okay, hold on. I have to clean a few things off. It's going good. No, I'm not wrapping them in dough. These are pork hamburgers that have a coleslaw on them and lettuce and a lot of other stuff on it. And the coleslaw is not what you think is coleslaw. So it's different though. You think of one thing, you're thinking wrong. That's one thing I've learned about cooking. When they say coleslaw, you get one image in your head. When you read the recipe and you say, nah, that's not quite what they are, what you're expecting. You know, so don't always, when you hear a title, assume you already know how it's put together. Let me get that book. We're done with this one for now. I hear people read recipes and they say, oh, that's too hard for me. I can't believe what I hear. All right, this is going to be an asparagus and feta slaw that we're making. We need 7 stalks of asparagus. So we need red cabbage as well. We're going to need, well, they call it purple here. We need feta cheese. How much feta cheese do we need? Because I bought a lot of it. 1/3 of a cup, which is 5 ounces. Okay, well, we'll take one. If you need a second one, we'll get it. What else do we need? We need scallions and olive oil. Do we need kale in this? Is this one that needed kale? Yeah, we're also going to need kale. We need hot sauce, black pepper. Yeah, we got a lot that we need to get together. See, because I have so little room, I do one little thing and then I have to walk around to get the rest of the stuff that I need to get to the next meal. You guys think I have a really big kitchen. I do, but I don't have any counter space. We need apple cider vinegar and sugar. No. Apple cider, this is it. Apple cider vinegar. Okay. You want hot sauce? Okay. It doesn't say which hot sauce to use, so I'm going to use Frank's Red Hot Original Cayenne Pepper Sauce. Get out of here, Nat, before I kill you, and then you'll be all upset because you'll be dead. Green beans in a large bowl. You want a large bowl. Okay. We need 6 to 7 stalks of asparagus. We're going to shave into ribbons. Shaved into ribbons. Okay, we can do that. I have to see how they really want this. Yes, it is. Them. That is the red one. Yes, I know I do. This whole kitchen has to be redone. H home. Thank you. Let's see. I'm just going to read how they want this shaved into ribbons. So I know ribbons are going to be. Ribbons are long. Okay. Well, I know asparagus we have to break. All right. Now, a lot of people, and I've seen my girlfriends do this, cut each one of these individually. Okay, so I'm talking from experience, watching my friends. Product of Peru. Okay. It should be product of my backyard. All right. Let me get 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. Well, we're going to have asparagus this week. 6, 7. These I can put up. All right. How are you going to separate this and make sure you get the woodsy part done? All right, a lot of people don't know. You bend these things. They have a natural spot where you have the eating against the stem, which is that woody part. All you do is bend it. That's it. And these parts you can throw into your stock and use it to cook with. That separates it. A lot of people don't know that. See how easy it is? Now, all of this that is broken off is wood. It has that woodsy, chewy taste. That's how you do it. Very simple. Just take them and break them. They come in different sizes, but that's how you do it. That is an old trick. You want me to shave these things? Okay. See, I'm like you. Shave these things. Like peeling them, right? Okay, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Now I'll probably shave my fingers too while I'm at it. I don't know why you want me to do it this way, but I need a smaller one. Let's see if I have something smaller I can do. They're going to make this impossible for me to do. All right, well, we got little strings. Not big ones, but anyway. you can go there. I can throw you in my stock. Well, you're going to have ribbons, as you can see, just like that. I wish they had thicker asparagus, but they didn't, so I got the biggest ones they had. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not wasting any of the asparagus. What I don't use in the salad will be used in my stock. So I won't be wasting anything. Hi, Cookie. How are you? Hi, Kay. Okay. Well, we did that. That's what they want. I'm going to throw all this away that I have left over. I'm going to take it, put it in a bag for stock. Vegetable stock gives good flavor. And all my vegetable stocks taste different because I use different vegetables all the time. All right, next, what do you want? Cabbage, shredded purple cabbage. I used to call it red cabbage. Now they call it purple. See why you have to learn these names? Don't worry. I'm not wasting it. Okay. So you want a cup and a half? All right, they want a cup and a half of shred. I'm just deciding how much. Let's see how much this gives us. And then I'll just keep chopping until I get the amount that I need. This is too tough. Probably half a cup here. You need this thin slice so it won't overpower. The rest of the flavors that we're going to be putting together. That looks like, that's pretty good. Oh, we're only making 4 hamburgers here. Please remember that as well. And my sons are going to fight. I might have to make 5. So they like them. They're going to want 2 each. Okay, what do you want next? 1/3 cup of feta cheese. I just want it in a big bowl. They're so little. Yesterday, I was doing paperwork, clearing up a mess. I had procrastinated for like ever. I'm not going to fight you. Oh, Slim, if you're on, I went to my Facebook page. You were nowhere to be found. Okay, add that in. What's next? Green onions, 2 to 3 scallions, thinly sliced. Now when you read green onions, they're talking scallions. Just letting you know. Because if you have old cookbooks, you're going to sit there and say, I can't find what they want me to get. So learn both terms so you can stay up on them. All of this is going in for the, oh, that card sounds like it's coming. Peelings go into the bag for my next vegetable stock that I'll make. Very thin. How much of it do you want? The whole thing? Okay. That's fine, I don't mind. Okay. I think that's enough. Should be enough. I need another bowl. And now we're going to add, let's see, olive oil. They want 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I know I brought measuring spoons over. I bet I threw them in the sink. They say olive oil, but I'm using my all blend here that I make, and I've already shown you 2 or 3 times in videos how to do it, so you already know, or you can look it up. Paul? Yeah, chives are different. Yes, but they want scallions. Okay, from here, they want a tablespoon of cider vinegar. When they say cider, they mean apple vinegar, for those of you that don't know these terms. Little girls, we learned them. If your mother had you in the kitchen, you learned all these terms. I went to my grandmother, she used different terms because she was a different age group. So I had to learn different things. A teaspoon of sugar. Okay, what's the sugar? They want a dash of hot sauce. Now that's when it's left up to you. Okay? If you want more, you can add more. You're going to tell me you don't want... Hold on. Okay, they only want a half a teaspoon. Is that a half a teaspoon? Yes, a half a teaspoon of black pepper ground. So let me get my mortar and pestle out. You notice how they didn't put any salt in this? Usually when you hear salt or pepper, the other one always accompanies it. This recipe says, no, we're going to do this different. There. After we get this done, then we're going to start putting the stuff together for the patties. Why they wanted such a big bowl for this. That makes no sense. I'm going to have to put you in a smaller bowl because I need this bowl. I need the bigger bowl for something else. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the English muffins over there. They take a little longer to rise because they're sourdough. want you to toss this and then put it in the refrigerator till we're ready for it. Doesn't that look like a nice one? So different from anything else that we've had. Okay. That will give that pork hamburger a good amount of flavor. Oh. Oh. Go easy on the hot sauce. Do I have my throat back? Oh, God. That's going to be good. Don't get carried with hot sauce. That could bring you to tears. Okay. We're going to work with the patties now. Yes, Richie. You need the hamburger to tone that down. That's why it's so spicy. We're making hamburgers. All right. How much kale do we want? Half a bunch. All right, you're going to have to buy a bunch of kale. I bought a bunch. Now you're going to take half of it. The other half you can use as another meal. We're going to have to remove the stem from this. Let me rinse these first. Ladybugs love kale. I always find ladybugs in the kale. Corn, I always find the worms eating. The apples, I see my lovely birds pecking at it. You see their little teeth marks in my apples. My peach tree has a virus, some sort of fungus. I finally got this stuff. I'll use it next year when they're flowering and stuff. Now they want us to cut the stems out. Making hamburgers. That's what we're making, Jackie. Unusual hamburgers. Well, the major stem on this has to be cut out because it's too tough for what we're going to be doing. But instead of wasting the stem and trashing it, put it in your bag of vegetables and you can sit there, cook it down. Okay. I had planned to try to make ostrich hamburgers, but I cannot do that because the sidewalk got done. That took all the extra money. So that will not be had this year, but I hope sooner or later to be able to do it, maybe next year. Just depends upon how the finances are and what I can and cannot do. even vacation. I've never had a vacation. I look forward to trying that, you know. All right, we did that. What do you want me to do with it next? All right, we have to finely chop this. Now you see why I got the big cutting board out. Well, you can't say one thing. You are going to get your vegetables, that's for sure. All right, that's half a bunch. Now, what do you want? I have my towel here. Okay. Sandra, you just had your towel here. All right, now they want us to put a teaspoon in a large skillet over medium heat and saute the kale until nicely wilted. You wouldn't guess I did this floor yesterday. I'll get you over here. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'm running out of room over here. We're going to need this bowl. So I'm going to get you over here. Listen, I'm going to have to plug you in soon to lose you. I'm trying to get everything. We're making hamburgers, Jackie, but a different kind. It's got that special coleslaw. It looks like we're going to have kale in the hamburger as well, so there's going to be a lot of mixtures with this. But this is pork mixed with all these seasonings and stuff we're going to be putting in it for a hamburger. We'll wait for that. Breadcrumbs. I don't even know if I've got enough breadcrumbs. Oh yeah. And what we're going to do is we're going to wilt this. And I'm going to run around trying to find everything I need to put this together, and then we'll go ahead and get the buns going. I'll tell you how they go together, because I have to pack them up. And that'll be the problem. We're gonna okay. Figured we were gonna do this. I have to admit the kale looks really nice without the stem in it. I'm tossing around so it doesn't burn, but I'm wilting it as much as I can without water, so we're using its own liquid, and that's how we're doing this. And you can see it's less than it was before, so it is wilting down. Okay, put it in a large bowl. don't want to burn it or brown it. You just want it to wilt it. If you just leave it there, it will burn and the top won't be wilted. So that's why I'm tossing it around to make sure that you get that. Okay, into this we're going to start adding stuff, okay? Maybe I should start down at the bottom. All right, hold on. Oh, you want it to cool. So this has to cool a bit. So, all right, we're going to need some yogurt. We're going to need some lemon zest and a lemon. So let's get that out. Now they talk about Greek yogurt, but I make my own yogurt, so I'm not going to change. Lemon. Can't get it out. Okay, we got the yogurt and the lemon. They want salt and pepper and paprika. When they say sweet paprika, it's just paprika that they're looking for, okay? Got the salt and the pepper and paprika here. What else do you want in this? You need an egg. Okay, you got an egg. We need 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs. I don't think I have enough. No, I don't. So let's see, what can I use in place? I can use wheat germ in place of breadcrumbs. I've done it more than once. Now I have to make some breadcrumbs. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, we'll start adding stuff into this. All right, they want 2 tablespoons of yogurt added into the kale. We're just waiting for it to yeah. The reason they say Greek yogurt is it's drier. All right, you have 2 tablespoons of that. Put this in. My yogurt's very active, so I have to make sure I get it in there. Salt, they want 1½ teaspoons of salt. This is 1/2 teaspoon, so I'll put 3 of them in. 2, 3. a half a teaspoon of paprika, the colors are beautiful, a teaspoon of cracked black pepper, you want an egg in it. A third of the cup. I already used the third, I think. All right, they want a third of breadcrumbs, but I haven't, the most I've made so far. Yeah, I make my own breadcrumbs. Is half of that. So sometimes when they ask for breadcrumbs, I will fall back on toasted wheat germ to go with it, to cover it. And this way I'll get my B vitamins anyway. So I'll use wheat germ in place of breadcrumbs if I have to. But I'll make some more breadcrumbs today. I'm going to be in the kitchen all day today. I thought I was going to have a break. Okay, English muffin time. Preheat your oven to 450. This is for the English muffins. Okay. Oh, we got the zest. We're gonna have to zest this. Let's see, which zest do I want? I don't want the really fine one. All right, I'm gonna zest this, and then we're gonna take all the lemon juice from this. All right. So. This is a medium one that I'm using, not the really fine one. So you'll see streaks of lemon through it. See, pork doesn't have much flavor when you make it as a hamburger. And you also have to compensate for the dryness of the meat because they know you have to cook it. See, all the way. It's not a beef that you can sit there and say, I want medium rare or medium or this or that. Do it in a separate bowl to make sure you get the seeds out of it. Then you can always add it after. Because every time you think you've gotten them all, there's always one little creeper that gets in there. See? Little creepers get in there, no matter how much you do it. Oh, 5, 6 of them. Okay. And there's another one. A whole bunch of them. All right. Brought 2 more. See what I mean? These little buggers do not like. They don't want to come up. They're not going in it. Going to mix all this up before we add the meat in. Get all the flavors mingled, and then we'll add the pork. Now they want 1.5 pounds of ground pork. Better not need those. How much is this? This is under a pound. And this one is over a pound, just a hair over. You know, I'm just gonna put the whole thing in. That's it. It's gonna be a 1/2 pound more than they want. Now, Now listen to this. In a large bowl, mix with your hands until well combined. Do not overmix as it will make tough burgers. Okay, so that's where we have to be careful. You use your fingers and you mix this up gently. That's why they're not adding the salt into it. And it's in everything else. They added the salt into the, where did I add the salt? Well, they didn't add the salt because we added it here. They didn't add it into the other. Too much salt and you mess it up. You see how I'm gently mixing this? To get the breadcrumbs throughout it all. That's what you're trying to do. But not to pack it tight. That's why I'm using my fingers, breaking it up, so I can get it all mingled. Listen, this has to set a bit. I have to put some stuff up. If you saw over there, you would see that I have a mess. I just have to take a few minutes and clean some of this up so I can move and maneuver in here. I can't right now. No, Taffy, I can't pay mine, I'm sorry. I can't believe it. There's too much out. I can't maneuver in this kitchen. I don't have any room. Yes, I'm coming. Give me a minute. I heard you. I saw you. 8 minutes. All right, the English muffin go in for 8 minutes, and then we're going to turn them and cook them another 8 minutes. I'm just trying to get stuff together right now. Okay. 8 minutes. 17. Now they want us to make going to sit there. We're going to have to maneuver around you. Okay. I was not kidding. This kitchen, it's a big room, but it was not utilized right. And when you get something like this, you can have a small kitchen, but if it's utilized right, you have a work area that you can maneuver, but people aren't cooking, so they aren't really doing that for people like me. So if we have a kitchen, we're going to have to do it ourselves. I've already decided how I want to do it. Everything holds me back is finances. And he said, well, why don't you take a loan on the house? Well, I'm paying a mortgage and 2 loans up already. That's why I had to save up for the concrete, because I put Anderson windows in. I love Anderson windows. I have a fetish with it, and I found out when I was noticing problems with the house that the foundation, he had cut into the foundation and put a facade up that the foundation was there, and there was none. So when I called them in, they found the problem and they corrected it. Okay, I'm going to use a nose stick after we get these patties, because I'm making 5, so my sons can each have 2. I only need 1 for me. And gentlemen, what would go good with this? A cold, light beer. Okay, that should hit all of you nicely. This isn't meatloaf, these are hamburgers. I know not, but I don't have the money. And thank you for the flour sprinkles. Well, I can't pronounce it, forgive me. I don't have the money. I am on a fixed income. I'm retired, I'm 73. So I don't have that kind of money to tear up the floor and sit there and have an island and have wiring come up through it and all. My husband's dead, so I don't get that. And that's my dinette table you're saying get rid of. I want to put it over in the corner over there because there's an area over there that we could eat. I'm making 5 of these, I don't care what they say. They're going to be big. They're going to be. I don't even know if we can get our mouths around these. So please don't tell me to get rid of something or do this. I don't have the money. I just got the sidewalk done. I have to save up. People who are working, you can get all those mortgages and stuff. Once you retire, stuff like that stops. Well, you come across and talk about, do this and do that. I am not a construction worker. The most I know about electricity is putting a light bulb in and turning it off and on. That is a total limit. In plumbing, turn the faucet on and turn it off. That's it. I just learned recently how to turn the water off to the house. I don't know those things. That wasn't what I was taught. I'm not one of these women trying to be a man. I know my place. Men should know stuff like that. But when you lose your husband, these things happen. Like I said, these are going to be huge. I'm going to have to put a weight on these things. At least this man is after my own heart. He believes in a big hamburger. So even if I took half a pound out, I would still have 4 giant hamburgers. So this guy really likes to eat. No, I agree with him. If you're going to eat, eat. Don't play around with it. I don't have a cast iron. Oh, you want to hear my idea? I already want an island here. The table's going to go over there. The refrigerator I want over there, all right? Or either I'm going to put a freezer there. But I want to get rid of this fireplace and have this whole counter go around here. So it'd give me cabinets top and bottom all the way around here. And then the island would have cabinets underneath it, as well as the top to work on. And I would want a electrical line run through, so I could sit there and put my mixer there, so I could use my mixer in more freely. I also want an edging where I can clamp my meat grinder to, instead of using the electric one and my pasta machine, because these counters only have an edge like this and I need a wider edge, so I want a wider edge here. What I wanted to do was have green marble back on the counter and the countertops, but I want tiles. Well, if I have to put tiles in the back, that's fine. But I want tiles with flowers running across like it would be in the woods. And I want mahogany cabinets because that's for the trees. I would paint the kitchen still yellow because of the sunshine. And I think I would want the wide beams of the ship tile design for the flooring. Or if not that, I haven't really decided on that. But that's what I'm pushing for. Am I going to get it? I don't know. I also want the storage room removed back here so I could open these 2 windows that you don't see, because they're always closed, because the man ahead of us made a storage room there, so you don't get the cross ventilation here that I want, or the sunlight, which bothers me because I should have the evening sun and the morning sun, so I'd have the sun and my kitchen would be well lit. You see, so I have some ideas for this kitchen, but because of the mortgage and the 2 loans that I have right now, I can't do anything. And the reason I have 3 loans on the house was I noticed some windows on the top floor that were getting ready to come out, so I finally found Anderson, which I've known since I was a little girl. I called them in and I said, we'll just do these because the bottom windows were fine, right? Shortly after that, I had to take another loan out for the other windows. They decided to drop out. And I said, well, it's like everything's going to come out at the same time. And then what happened was, while they were here, we were noticing something about the house. And I said, okay, I want to, because the basement was giving me a problem, I said I wanted to seal up the basement around on the outside. And when they did that, and they cut open, they found big gaping holes where there was no foundation. And I said, dang, what was this man doing? Tearing this house down and they thought he could put a facade up and sell it? All right, 9:17, turn them over. I've got to turn these over. So there was a lot going on with this house. That'll be 26. Now let's get the rack out for this. Yeah, I've been thinking about, I don't know if it's expensive. I have no idea. See, I have ideas. Talk to me about material or dishes. I can tell you those are expensive. I know when it comes to construction and stuff, I don't know. I just know what I want to make my life easy. And I know marble is great because if you're going to roll pastries out, marble is the best top to have, you know. All right, I need a rack. I'm not doing dishes yet. It's like I have a contractor, right? I sit there and say, when I get this porch, you notice when I use the word win, when I work on that front porch, I told him I want concrete and brick. And he said, no, you have to put wood on the porch to walk on. I said, look, I am 73 years old. I'm going to be older if I ever get that porch fixed. And I said, I don't want to be down there having to varnish it every couple of years, and the wood warps, have to take the wood off and everything else. I said, I don't want this. What I'm thinking is economics for me, because if I'm older, I'm not going to be out there. You understand? So I figured I can take a broom, I can sweep, I can get a hose and hose it down. But I need something that I can work easily with, that I don't have to worry about that. I don't have a husband who's alive who would be going out doing it, and I don't think my husband was older than me. At 80-something, he'd want to be out there varnishing, you know, every couple of years. That's why I think the way I do. Now, I think fireplaces are beautiful. In a kitchen? No! Not from there. But a man would say it's so nice you can cook it. Yeah, I know that. But takes up too much room, you see? And I need the room. Why did I throw my measuring spoons in there? I need them. 26, we've got 4 minutes for that, and then we'll put the second batch in. I need 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to have to judge this. 2 tablespoons of oil in a frying pan for these hamburgers. So if I have an expensive taste, I'm unaware that it's an expensive taste. I only know something that I don't have to work with as I get older because it's too much. They want a cast iron. I don't have cast iron for this. I can't afford cast iron either. But anyway, I keep on. Mahogany, the color mahogany is just beautiful. Just like I like bookshelves. I love bookshelves, but I don't want bookshelves that I can move. Those little clips don't hold my books. I need shelves that are built into the bookshelf. And finding those is like an arm and a leg. So I have I have 1, 2, or 3 bookshelf, and I'm always having to replace those little pegs. I hate those little pegs. I have books stacked on their sides like this, right on the top, and I've already got another bookshelf, and I've already got books stacked on top of it. I need stable shelves, and finding those is very, very difficult. So the things that I want, I can't find. Good morning, my Willie. Okay. Kajeris, hi. I think I said that right. I didn't know if mahogany was expensive or not. The color mahogany is what I like. 26. We're going to be running a little tight here. I got to get those out. So that's what I go through. So I figure I will not get everything that I want done, but I'll just save up, do what I can. Like I want Anderson doors. I want a new back door and a front door before I open the porch. And I know how much each one of those windows cost because it's like a ceiling to floor. I mean, it's like that far off the floor and that far off from the top. So, you know, I've got two big windows in the front. And before I can open the porch, I have to replace the front door and those two windows. I'm just telling you what I go through. And to do that, I have to first put Anderson windows in. And because the windows are low, I'm going to have to put bars on them when I open that porch. The front door porch is all nailed shut, so we only use the back door. So I have to replace all of that up front before I can even get to that. Biscuits and gravy, Douglas? Go right ahead and have biscuits and gravy. So those are my dreams and things I would like to do. Don't know if I'll get to them, but they're my dreams. We had the money to do all of it. You're welcome. Okay, those have to come out now. And I gotta put another set on. Turn down. I can't get to it right now. Well, the buttermilk didn't affect them. That's good. I have to take care of this before I can fry those up. I can see the hose in the batter, so it seems like the buttermilk gave it an extra lift. And here's my itty bitty one. Okay. 6 and 8 is how much? Can you do your math that fast? 34. That's not high enough. Okay. Okay, I pretty much know what I have to do now. No, now the small one I'm going to taste to see how it came out with the buttermilk. It seems to have caused more bubbles in it, which gives it a nicer look. Okay, I need weights, I think, on this. I'm going to get some weight to put on them. Or they're going to puff up too high. These would probably be excellent on the English muffins as well. Oil's already in my nose stick. I've already done that. The butter, I'm going to toast the buns, so I'm going to put butter and turn the broiler on. I'm going to toast those before I serve them. That's how we like them. We don't like them salty. They wanted 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. You just didn't see me. I told you I did it, but I wasn't paying. I couldn't get you over there because I had too much going on. Don't use a real high heat. You do smell good. Shock, shock. Well, I'll try one of these. Very nice. They have a different flavor because I used the buttermilk in them. This gave them more of a crunchy top. Good morning, the ever-loving outdoorsman. That one I can read. I can't believe how nice they smell. That's what got me. Okay, made them a little more crunchy on the outside with the buttermilk. This is good. If you don't like buttermilk, go ahead and add milk. But if I didn't have buttermilk, I'd add sour cream just to see what I could do with it. look nice. Can't say they don't. No, those are oat buttermilk English muffins we're making. Those are not biscuits. Always, Richie, if you're going to eat, eat. Our phones, no, they're not biscuits. They're English muffins. See, people who serve in the military and they're in the theater of war, when they come home, they have a very good understanding of food, and they will spend a lot of money on food, and they want to eat. And if they have children, their children are going to be big eaters, because he knows what it's like to starve and not be able to get to the front, and you're out there for days, and you can't hunt. You can't do anything, and your rations are so little. When you come home, food is the one thing you want, and a lot of it. So I learned to cook in large amounts for my family to this day, and they're big eaters from that. They're both, one is just under 6 feet, and the other one's over 6 feet. And if I give them a little bit, they go, you know. So I think large in that aspect. I mean, they eat more than I do, but for somebody my age, I eat a lot of food. Well, I work. If you don't work, you know, you're not hungry, so I can understand that. But if you have a husband who's been in a theater of war, not just serving, but in a theater of war as you do combat, that's a polite way of calling it a theater of war. When they come home, they want food. They want their families. Definitely they want to have their wife intimately, and they want food, and a lot of it. So you put it out. And don't be a bad cook. That's the worst thing he needs, is to come home after the crap he eats in the military and have to come home and eat the crap. And he will be very upset. Pastor Manuel too. I told my husband I was going to make chipped beef over biscuits. He thought of the military, and he said, "You mean SOS?" And that's called, SOS is shit on a shingle. And I said, "No, Tony, I'm not. I'm going to be." When I got done with it, he said it was good. So he was not upset, so I was very happy that he was content with the way I did it. But at first, just the sheer thought of it, I mean, he was making fun. I told him to quit making fun of it. It's a very nice dish. And he liked it. But he thought it was going to be something like, when we were on the base, and we didn't have an apartment at that time, I wanted scrambled eggs and bacon with French toast. And I was online, and I even wanted apple juice to go with it. And I said, "Scrambled eggs, please." And everybody said, "Yo, they suck." And then I said it again. I said, "Ignore them." I said, "Scrambled eggs, please." And they said, "Fry her eggs." And I turned and, a whole line of men behind me, military. I said, "I want scrambled eggs, please. Be quiet." By the time I got to the table, I found out they used powdered eggs, and they were full of water. I never, ever had powdered eggs again. So I understood why they said you'll be sorry, and I was sorry. And they snickered when I went up there and said, "Excuse me, do you call these eggs?" Yeah, I was the one to say that. You call this eggs? If not, you don't have a fighting chance. These are big. The bun is smaller than these. This is going to be a huge hamburger. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to stack them on top of each other. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning hearing hut, 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 hut. Hello, people. Do you sleep? You know, that was on base. I didn't know they got up that early. And I was yelling at them. What in the name of God do you, this, we're in America. Then I found out my husband was saluting to everybody. Because I was half asleep, I was saluting to everybody. I ran into his back and went up, okay, fine. I didn't know. I was, I was exhausted. These are pork hamburgers we're having. Don't they look good? That's what these are. Pork hamburgers, and we made the coleslaw that's going to go on them, and we're getting the rest of these buns done. Patties done, and then we'll take care of the buns. We're taking care of English muffins at the same time, so I'm sort of doing two things. Darren. So that's what they are. Okay, who is this talking like this? Handsome? No, Handsome, I'm not going to throw it away. What are you, Jewish? You must be Jewish. You can't eat pork, so you're sick of the dietary life that you're on. Okay. One thing you have to make sure is that you cook these all the way through, because it is pork. You don't want any problems. That's why I'm leaving them so long. Arfons. Actually, purples, lavenders, pinks are my favorite colors. Isaiah. Those are my favorite colors. Matter of fact, I would have bought everything pink and purple except my husband said, no, I'm going to buy what you're going to wear. He got me out of those. But everything had to have pink lipstick, pink eyeshadow. I went through my teenage years with makeup for, I think, 2 years, and then I just stopped. I got tired of it. So the one thing I was taught is to cook it all the way, which I do. I do cook it all the way. Because I don't want my family to have any problems. Don't need this anymore. I need that one over there. I don't need this now. did make lamb lasagna, which came out really, oh God. That came out so much better than I thought it would. Good, I have 5 buns left over. These are left over. I had them in the lilac. Yeah, I love lilac too. I love nice colors. I mean, one time I had a black and white outfit. So my husband went and said, he came home and, you know what he got me? Black lipstick. And I said, Tony, really? He said, yeah, you'll look good in it when you wear that outfit. And you know, it did. But he wanted me to wear nail polish. Nail polish killed my nails. And I had an allergic reaction. I told him I was very sensitive to chemicals. So he found Bare Minerals, which was just minerals at the time. This is why you get your minerals, you have natural color to your face. And he got it for me because he said, I really want you to wear a little makeup, Sandy. I said, okay. Well, I didn't want it, but he wanted me to wear just a little. And sure enough, 6 months after I started using it, they sold the company, didn't let us know. I put it on and I started reacting. He said, you really do react. I said, yes, I do. Chemicals and filth. Doctors have to be careful if I have to have surgery. They'll lose me on the table because my body won't handle it. We're not supposed to slave through life. We're supposed to enjoy the life that we have. So many people don't. And that's such a shame. Man puts a lot of things on us that we don't need. If we were, the government causes us to do things. The Depression moved people off the farms because the farms went under. A lot of that, but when you think about it, if you grew your own food and your animals and everything else, you raised your children, we wouldn't have all the pressures that we have today. But somebody always wants to take something from somebody. They're not happy with what they have with their life. And if somebody's happy, they want to hurt them. Why do you want to hurt them? Because they're happy? They've learned to be happy and be content with what they have. Hot when I get done with this. I already put it out. Oil's hot. We get those toasted. Take them out. Somebody just skipped outside. I heard you. Like people sit there and say, what? I went to climb to get something up at the top and I got yelled at the store. And I said, if I fall, I will get up, you know? you know? People panic. Don't, you'll fall. Hello, I've fallen a lot. I'll get up to, you know. If I break my leg, I have insurance to cover me. I'm not going to sue anybody. I'll just get up, you know. I've done it all my life. My mother says, get up. Get up off your tail, you know. That's what I did. But they say, oh, you're old. You can't do this. And I sit there and say, if I listened to everybody telling me what old age is about, I would want to die before I got old. They make it like it's the worst thing in the world. The only thing I'm noticing as I get older, I get more tired, easier. But other than that, I think I'm doing pretty good. That's my opinion of myself. Still stubborn, still hard-headed. Still have a temper. Bad qualities that we all have, you know. Reasonable, know my place. I had to outstep my place when I went to go get the concrete sidewalk done. Because the contractor I normally work with is treating me like I was non-existing. And I had to remind the other contractor that was there, I said, don't listen to him, you better listen to me. I'm the one paying for this bill. Unless you think you're going to get it out of them, you better listen to me. I'm the one paying this bill. I know what I want. I'll tell you the problems I have, A, B, C, D, and you do whatever you have to do to square these problems away so I don't have any more problems. Now, one thing you do is, actually, if you have more buns to do, you sit there and turn that broiler off, fix the next set, and put it in because it's going to keep getting hot in there, and that's not what you want. You got to get this off too. Well, overcooking. These are a little darker. Okay. Put those in there. Out of the way. Yeah, I have a lot. You know, there is a little piece here. I'll let that cool and try. I'll let you know how they are. Now, I couldn't find Bib lettuce, so I'm going to be using iceberg lettuce. But Bib is what they're looking for. What you're going to do when you're done toasting these for your hamburgers, you're going to sit there and put a glob of mayonnaise on it, on the bottom, okay? Then you're going to put some Bib lettuce there. Then you put your meat patty there. And then you put the coleslaw on top of it. And put the bun on top of it. That's how you eat these, okay? All of you got quiet for a while. Right, here's a small piece of the meat. I'll let you know. You're going to like that. That is very interesting. You will like it very much. You know what might go well with it? Though this would be far off. Maybe champagne. That's it. I'm gonna put the broil over there. That's just too hot in this kitchen. So repeat it. Put a glob, as they say, of mayonnaise on the bottom part of the bun. You put bib lettuce there. If you can't, I'm using iceberg. Then you put the patty there, and then you put that coleslaw on top of it, and the top of the bun, and that is your hamburger. A pork hamburger, which is going to be good. Really going to be good. It was a lot of work. Yeah. The joys of cooking in the kitchen is you get to taste everything for anybody else. As they say, well, I have to know if it's going to be good or not. Yeah. One of my sons is smelling it. I hear him doing that. Remember, tomorrow we're doing fried chicken. You need oil, salt, pepper, flour. If you have milk, buttermilk, sour cream, or yogurt, we'll use that to coat it, and we'll cut a chicken up. Make sure it's a fryer. You do not want a roaster. You want a fryer, and you're going to need oil. I use corn oil. Do not use lard or shortening. It will smoke, and that's not what you want to do in the kitchen. All right? So a thermometer would be good because we have to bring the heat up to 375. And you're not going to be able to look at it and know unless you've spent a lot of time in the kitchen. So get a thermometer. If they're candy thermometers, you can find them at any grocery store. Because you're going to clamp it up on the side of the pan so you can actually see it when it hits 375 when we put the chicken in. You're also going to need a rack where we can drench it after we put a coating on it and put the flour, and then we're going to let it sit a minute or two, and you'll see that you'll have to coat it a second time with flour, so you're going to need a rack to put it on. These are things that you're going to need for tomorrow. Okay, burnt. Okay, well, I'll scrape the burnt off, please. I'm good at doing that too. But they're too hot to do right now, so I'll wait. If you burn this, take the back of a knife, it can be a butter knife, and scrape it off. No reason to have to throw the toast away or whatever you're doing. It's just that mine's too hot to do right now. But as soon as it does, I'll just scrape it off. The burnt, and they'll be fine. All right, that's it. Can't think of anything else. So I want all of you to have a good day. What am I doing today? I'm trying to remember what I have to do today. Sprinkles, I think. Anyway, listen. Tomorrow is fried chicken. I will see you. The 3-bean salad. we will be having, and we'll be using we'll be using yams with dried apples as a mashed potato dish. So we'll check it out. We'll be busy tomorrow, all right? And I will show you how to get your chicken fried and done. So if you want to eat the gristle or crack the bones, instead of leaving half the meat on the chicken, you'll be able to clean the meat off the chicken. And if you want the gristle for your joints, fine. If you want the, okay, Richie, you can crack the bones and suck the bone marrow out and get your antibiotics, because folic acid is a natural antibiotic. So listen, take care. God bless. See you tomorrow morning.